Welcome to World Media Distributing. I'm Joe Becker, here with Lisa McClain-Darrough, and we're going to discuss our plan to expand our American-based company into Asia. We will compare Singapore and Hong Kong's Special Administrative Region as potential targets for expansion. But first, let us give you a little background on what we do.
The world loves American pop culture. Movies, music, videos, television, anything in media. The market is expanded greatly for American media products when they can be tailored to the various different regions of the globe. This includes everything from language services to disc formatting. The disc players sold in different areas of the world would not play American DVD movies with Region 1 coding. This means that discs may be manufactured and distributed to the appropriate markets.
Instead of doing everything from our North America office, we would like to add a second center that will serve consumers in the Asian and Pacific markets. We can improve the accuracy and cultural fit of translation services by having those functions performed by people that live in those markets. We can reduce shipping and manufacturing costs by localizing production and distribution. Our North America office can continue to make Region 4 discs and ship some of them to our new Asia office for distribution in Australia, New Zealand, and Indonesia.
Nations of Singapore and Hong Kong Special Administrative Region as potential hubs of production and distribution to the Asian and Pacific markets. Both are densely populated and rich in infrastructure, including airports, seaports, and reliable systems of internal transport. Singapore is a little smaller, but it has more output. The GDP per capita shows that Singapore residents enjoy higher incomes than those in Hong Kong. While both are heavily populated with people of Chinese descent, Singapore has more diversity, especially the inclusion of Malaysians and Indians, which is a particular advantage because those are emerging markets with huge potential. Singapore is also a good fit for expansion because their primary language is English. Hong Kong is very closely tied to China, but not as well linked as the other nations of Asia as Singapore.
The currency of Hong Kong is the Hong Kong dollar, and Singapore uses the Singapore dollar. Hong Kong's dollar is worth 13 cents US, while Singapore's dollar is worth 80 cents at the current exchange rates. The Hong Kong dollar shown here is from 1935, and today they don't print a $1 note. The Monetary Authority of Singapore maintains a goal of stable dollar and does very well as a chief financial center of Asia.
Here we can see that the true strength of Singapore is his many free trading agreements and international trading partners. Hong Kong is probably too closely tied with China to enjoy participation as in many free trade associations as Singapore. Both nations do very well on the Human Development Index. Each nation has an average school attendance of 10 years. These are the top two nations in the world in terms of economic freedom. Where America doesn't score in the top 10, you'll recall that Singapore residents enjoy per capita GDP that is roughly $17,000 higher than those in Hong Kong. But we can see here that Hong Kong residents get more bang for their buck. At a Big Mac purchased in Hong Kong is half the cost of one bought in the U.S. in comparative currency terms. This means we could purchase labor and resources cheaper in Hong Kong than in Singapore.
According to a very recent article in The Economist, Hong Kong's political outlook is questionable. While they are opening up their election process to allow every citizen to vote, there are concerns over the Communist Party in China restricting candidate access. Advancing communist leanings in Hong Kong is bad for business, and the backlash from this move may become violent. Military interventions or the advance of communism could become a great risk of government takeover of businesses and industries in what is currently a more or less free trade affiliate of the China mainland. Singapore is committed to stability as it wants to remain a reliable trading partner to 31 different countries. This one point by itself is nearly enough to base a decision on.
While both nations are good targets for a new office, we have concluded that Singapore is a better choice for expansion than Hong Kong for the reasons of greater cultural diversity and language access, more stable currency, more accessibility to free international trade, and greater political stability. It is also an advantage to have English as a primary language because we can shift a few top executives to lead the new office with a few snacks. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation of Singapore.